Hello, welcome to the third lesson for Ending on a High Note. I'm so glad that you are joining us on this journey. Hopefully the last two lessons that you've received, you've worked through. I've given you a little bit of extra time to work on those. But just to recap what we've done so far, we've set a goal. We've set action steps to achieve that goal by the end of December. And then you should have charted the time that you are going to work on those goals on the weekly plan sheet that came out with lesson one. So hopefully you've caught up with that and you're ready to move on to the next thing. So here's what we're going to do from here on out. I'm going to pick a couple of topics to discuss and share with you based on the comments that you made when you signed up for the course. So a couple of you mentioned some very specific things that you need to tackle in your business, and I want to make sure that we can address those so that you feel like you're equipped with all the tools necessary to gain your success. So what that means for you is it is up to you, and it's your responsibility to keep working on the time frame that you're setting for your goal, that you're putting those action steps in motion, and you're charting that time out on your weekly plan sheet. That is a non-negotiable function for this course because that's what's going to guarantee your success. And remember, we talked about that process being something you can duplicate over and over and over again. So hopefully as we're working through these next couple of weeks together and you're doing that on a regular basis, it will become a very common routine for yourself, and it will become one of those things that's natural for your business as well as for your personal life as well. I do just want to make a couple of comments on the last couple of lessons. Some of you have reached out to me with a couple of questions and have had a couple of comments about what we've done so far. And one of the things I hear most often whenever we teach this principle about goal setting, action steps, and the weekly plan sheet is, I did my weekly plan sheet and whatever happened in my life totally ruined my plans and now I don't know what to do. And we can easily feel overwhelmed when we spend a lot of time planning and then our kids get sick, our car breaks down, our appointments get moved around, whatever happens, that sort of throws a curveball into our plans. That's natural. It's going to happen. That's life. To give you a perfect example of what's going on in my life today, I am working from home. I am a little bit under the weather. My husband's home from work today. He's got bronchitis. We're hoping that's all that it is, waiting to go to the doctor to find out. But life still has to happen. Work still has to happen. You got to find a way to reach the goal and see success. If it's important enough for you to attain, you'll find the time to do the work to get there. So just keep that in check and make sure that you're finding time to at least try to plan for the time to work on those things and to utilize that weekly plan sheet. And if things need to tweak or you need to make changes, it's okay. When I do time management or goal setting workshops with my clients, one of the things that I teach to them is a concept called high intentions, low attachment. And basically what that means is we do all of this planning, we chart all of this stuff on paper, we attach it to a calendar, and we have every intention in the world to make that plan happen and to work that plan and to see it to fruition. But we have to have low attachment to the actual steps that get us to the goal, because there will be things that will redirect us. And it's okay if our path was heading straight and now it's squiggly and we have to kind of go around the block in order to get to the goal. That's okay. We're going to have a low attachment to the steps we've put on paper, understanding that sometimes we got to tweak things. But our intentions are still the same. The goal is still the same. And even if you went around the block twice, you can still end up at the goal. And that's really the point. So don't feel like you have to throw in the towel and give up if your weekly plan sheet doesn't go according to plan or you need to make changes throughout the week to adhere to some things that are happening in your life. So I do also want to talk a little bit about working on the weekly plan sheet and your goal setup for each week. One of the practices that's really powerful is learning to do a concept I call preparing enough for the work ahead. I say that if you care, you prepare. If it's something important for you, you'll find time to prepare for it. And what I mean by that is finding time once a week and then on a daily basis to get in check with your calendar, with your schedule, your to-do list, and your action steps. So before, one of the things that I would do that was really helpful for me was I would schedule time on Sunday evening. Typically it was later on in the evening after kind of the weekend had settled down and we're starting to get our heads on for Monday morning and getting into the work week. I would take that Sunday night, look at my weekly calendar, work on my plan sheet, get that weekly plan sheet all color coordinated and scheduled and blocked off, make sure that I had a start to my to-do list and I knew kind of when I was going to work on what. Now, obviously, that changed a little bit throughout the week, but at least on Sunday, I could get a game plan together. I didn't just show up Monday morning hoping to figure out what I was going to do with my time. And then what I would do is take time each evening at the end of the night, I would sit down and look at my next day's tasks or the next appointments or the calendar to see if I needed to make any adjustments to what needed to happen the next day or I needed to add to the list. Maybe there were some things I didn't get done on Monday that I needed to carry over to Tuesday. So Monday night, I would carry that stuff over. I would write it on my list. I would put it on my calendar and so on and so forth every night of the week. It usually only takes about 10 or 15 minutes and I'm promising you, you will sleep a lot better because your brain won't be trying to remember everything that you have to do the next day. If you write it down, you allow yourself to kind of forget about it, get a good night's rest, get up and tackle it the next day. I guarantee if you try that, you will see a big difference. It really makes a lot of space in your brain for just relaxation. And as business owners and women that have a lot to do, it's hard for us to kind of turn the brain off and to relax and to take time for our family and take time for ourselves and get a good night's sleep. So we're writing that stuff down, we're keeping good notes, we're utilizing the tools that we have, you'll feel better, you'll be confident knowing what it is that you have going on. I utilize that practice even now. I keep a very specific calendar and write everything down that needs to be done. Not because I know I'll forget it, but it helps me to not forget it. If I don't remember, it's okay. I've got it written down. My husband will ask me periodically, you know, what do you have going on tomorrow? Who are you meeting with tomorrow? And I'm always like, I don't know. I wrote it down. And that's the point of utilizing the tools, is so that you don't have to try to bombard your brain with keeping track of all of those things. And so try that out. See if that doesn't help you feel a little more comfortable utilizing the plan sheet, your action steps, your to-do list, all of those things that we've talked about so far. So in the remaining part of our video today, I want to talk a little bit about marketing. Since we are in the holiday season, it is a prime opportunity for you to reach out and not only connect with great customers that you've already managed to create relationships with, but it's a good time to capture those customers who may be on the fence, who may have popped into your store or visited your website, or maybe they bought one product and they haven't been back since. This is a really good time to try to pique their interest and get them involved in your business again. And there's a couple of ways to do that. And of course, we could spend tons of time just talking about this one topic, but I want to give you just a couple of tips to help you with this. A lot of people are utilizing online options to really reach out to customers and to gain new customers, to attract their attention. And while that is a really fabulous resource, it gets misused a lot. And so I want to touch on two of these things, one utilizing Facebook, the second utilizing a blog. So here's what typically happens. You have a business, you have a website, you have an online presence through your website that may have an e-commerce site, it may have you know, resources for people to go get, whatever it is that you offer your customers and clients. It can be found on your website. The problem being is that people typically don't visit your website unless they need that item or that particular service. The point of utilizing a blog and utilizing Facebook is to get them to your website. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't use Facebook and blogs for that reason. I see a lot of businesses go on Facebook and create these huge posts that are super long and super detailed, and it gives the reader everything they need to know right then and there. It doesn't do anything to prompt them to visit your website, and that's kind of cheating your business a little bit. And if you're paying for a website, you want people to go there and check it out. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One of the main reasons is if they go to your website for product number 1, they may go there and see, oh, hey, I like product number 2 as well. And they up their purchase, or they up their involvement, or they're introduced to new services that they may not have known otherwise. But if you give them everything in a Facebook post, they have really no reason to go anywhere else to look for any more information. So think about that when you're making your Facebook post. It's much better to try to link a product or service page from your website to a Facebook post and create a quick little introduction, maybe something that says, hey, check out our latest bath salts that we have scented for the winter season. And then there's a link there for them to go straight to your product page and find that product. And who knows, the mouse might get a little click happy and they might check out some other things on your site as well. The same thing is true for your blog. Again, you can link a blog page to your Facebook post and create interest that way. Utilizing a blog is great for two things. First of all, it keeps your customers informed and your clients informed on what's going on with your business or what sort of things that they can get from you. The other thing that happens with the blog is it gives them reasons to keep coming back to your website, whether that's once a week or a couple of times a week that you're posting something. Utilizing that blog portion of your site helps them to come back to the blog and see more about you. You can use it as a warm and fuzzy commercial, basically, for what's happening in your business, dropping hints and tips here and there that get people tied into the different things that you do. And then ultimately what you're doing is creating an online relationship with the reader. And so the blog is really crucial for that. You help give them information in a way that is a little more personal than just putting an advertisement in a newspaper or doing a commercial or just doing an event on Facebook. The blog helps create that relationship. And ultimately, for staying power with customers, relationships is where it's at. So the more you can connect with them, the more that you can create that warm, fuzzy feel with them, the better, because they're going to feel like they know you, they trust you, and that they have some rapport with you. So with those two things being said, let's talk really quickly about what to do, what to say, how to utilize those in the right way. So from a blog standpoint, don't freak out if you're not a natural gifted writer, if you aren't the most inspiring author. It's okay. The biggest tip I can give you when it comes to blog writing is to be yourself. Try to use the best grammar you can, but don't freak out over if you're supposed to use a semicolon or a colon. More than likely the person reading the blog isn't going to know that answer either. So don't stress out about it. Don't let that be the fear that keeps you from doing the action. Okay, get out and do it anyways. And if you are personable in your blog, that's what's going to win them over. So feel free to talk from your perspective. Statements like, I really utilize this particular help point, or I like to utilize this website. Those I statements makes it personal. The other thing is include personal perspective. If you're talking about a bath product or a body product you really like, you can say, I really like our foot balm. It helps heal my cracked heels. They get really dry in the wintertime. Sharing those personal facts, again, it lets the reader feel like they're getting to know you. I have a client who does great blog posts, and she writes about whatever's happening in her life and drops in her services that she provides to her customers. And so when you read her blog, you get to know about her, you get to know about her husband, you get to know about her dog, and she makes it really personal, and you feel like you're her best friend because you know all of this stuff that's going on in her life. And obviously you use some discretion there. You don't want to get personal and share details you wouldn't want the general public to know about, but it's, for the most part, I think you understand what we're going for here. It's that personal perspective, that personal statement that lets them get to know you and what you're about. And so to give you an example, if you go to revisionforwomen.net and click on read it, you can read the blog post that I write for Revision. And you'll notice that in those statements, or in those blog posts, I use statements that talk about me as a business owner, my experience, the things that I've encountered as I started my business, the things that I do for my business now. And I also drop in little bits and pieces here that talk about the things I do for my customers or for my clients. And so you'll get a really good feel of the structure of the blog and how it can really benefit your business and create those relationships. And when it comes to Facebook, we try to keep those posts short, simple, and positive. Nothing is worse than to see a business owner get onto their Facebook page and start complaining, even if it's something simple as complaining about the weather. Those negative Facebook posts tend to put a downer onto your entire page. It makes people feel like, you're a negative person, you give a negative vibe, and that may not be the way it is, is. I'm sure that's not the way it is, but that particular blog post can give them that impression. You want people to come to your Facebook page or see your Facebook posts and be excited, to be inspired, to be uplifted, to be encouraged, whatever your mission might be. Keep that Facebook post positive so that they'll be excited to see you show up in their newsfeed. If you become one of those crazy ranters on Facebook, we all know who they are, people tend to ignore those posts or scroll past them. Unless your business is a political driven type of business, I would shy away from political stances and rants, because again, that's not what people want to see from you. They want to know you as the expert in your business, which leads me to the next point when it comes to Facebook posts. Think about things that you can share that are items of value with your readers that paint you in the light of expert. So what I mean by that is, if you particularly like to share information about nutrition, and it so happens to be that you're a fitness coach, those two things go hand in hand. It doesn't always have to be about the next product or the next service that you're selling, but a Facebook post that talks about quick and easy on-the-go lunches is a great post, and it gives your readers something of value. They're going to learn something from it. They're going to gain something from it, and they'll probably leave that post thinking, man, I want to check this Facebook page out more because there's really great tips here. Maybe you have a business that creates kinds of crafts or home decorating items. And I know some of you who are watching this video, that is exactly where you're at. So sharing 10 easy crafts to do for Christmas under $10. You know, you see these posts all the time. You can find them online really easily, articles like this, maybe you write your own even. But those kinds of posts are really great because it gives people something that benefits them, it's positive, it has some sort of relevance to your business, and at the same time they think, gosh, the next time I need to find a really great idea to come up with a healthy alternative to I don't know, chocolate cake, then I can go to so-and-so's Facebook page because they probably have something. Or I can go to their website because they probably blogged about it. And so hopefully you see how these things kind of work hand in hand. The last thing I want to encourage you to do is to figure out a way, once you've got that person on your website, figure out a way to capture them and their contact information. So what typically happens is someone goes to your website, you have no idea who's gone to your website. You don't know who they are, what they do for a living, where they live specifically, what they do with their free time, what their needs are. You don't know any of that information. You might be able to determine how many people have visited your website and what particular items on your website got the most views, and you probably can even look at a generalized map as to where most of your website viewers are coming from. But you don't have a way to reach back out to them and contact them. And that is a problem, because although we have great social media options to reach out to our customers, if social media was to crash and burn tomorrow, most of us would have a really hard time reaching our customers because we rely on that. There is talk that Facebook may be changing some of their policies, and as a business owner, you may not have as much visibility as you do right now. Don't let that freak you out, because we're going to create a plan right now to help you capture those people who visit your website. So here's what I do, and this is what I think is a great plan to really capture those people who are on your site. First of all, you give them a reason to come, your Facebook page, your blog post, right? That's driving them to your website. They're checking out your products. They're getting to know your company. Second thing is you need to create either an email bonus, a newsletter sign up, a free product giveaway, something to get them involved in your site to where they're going to sign up for something and receive something in return. So for instance, when I wanted to drive my customer base up, or my contact base up, I did a free ebook giveaway, and I put it right on my homepage of my website that said sign up for a free ebook on time management, or whatever the ebook happened to be. And people filled out a form, and it came to me to my computer, and I saved all of their information. So basically the information I asked for was a name and address, email address, and I may have asked them what they hope to get out of the book or something like that. I typically don't try to bog them down with a lot of requests, so I don't ask them for a phone number and a mailing address and 100 other different pieces of information. I try to keep it simple, but if you can get just a name and an email, you can log that information into a number of different websites that produce email chains and email blasts, and at least you have another form to contact those customers or those potential customers. So if you want to set something up like that, I would challenge you to get in touch with your IT person who handles your website, explain to them what it is that you want to do, and they can set it up for you. It doesn't take very much effort to do that. If you have a do-it-yourself website, there's probably already an application that you can add to your site, whether it's a block that you add and you connect it to an email address, or whether it's an actual application or plugin. There's lots of different ways to utilize that. So do a little bit of homework, see how you can get that on your site. If you need some help with that, I might be able to give you some direction so you know how to get a hold of me, email me, or Facebook me, and we can help walk you through some of that. But the biggest takeaway here is to find a way to get them involved and plugged into your site. So give them something in return. They're just not going to give you that information for nothing. So give them something. Hey, sign up for our monthly newsletter that comes with great tips and tricks on how to, keep your house winterized or something. I don't know, whatever it is that you're offering. Maybe it's, like I said, you're giving away a free sample of a product, or getting them involved for information that you're going to give to them that they might need. So think about that. Be creative with it. Make it fun. Make it positive. Those are the two things here, whether it's blogs, Facebook posts, or your interaction on your website. Make it fun. Make it positive, and you'll get your customers engaged, especially during this holiday season. Hope this has helped to you. As always, feel free to visit the Ending on a High Note forum that's on the website. You're welcome to interact there, ask questions. I will answer them, and I will get back to you and try to help you in the best way that I can. For now, have a great day and make the most of it.